Hi everyone, I'm Zach from Porsche Center Calgary, and today we're doing a little bit of a different video. Rather than reviewing a car or talking about features on that, we're here with the new Porsche eBike. So this is one of several models. This is the Cross model, which is the more dedicated mountain bike model. And just so you don't think you're just getting talking to by a random sales guy wearing his mountain bike equipment, I race often in the enduro series, local series, stage racing, cross-country stage racing. Spend lots of time on bikes, so I'm very familiar with everything, which is why I'm the one out here shooting the video and doing the review on the bike. Talking about the intentions of the bike, it is the full power e-bike, meaning you do have the 85 Newton meters of torque on here. For those of you who are familiar with e-bikes, this is the Shimano EP8 motor. So this is one that's going to be very popular with Orbea bikes, a number of different big manufacturers. Very popular, works fantastic. The intentions of this bike, like I said, it is Porsche's dedicated mountain bike. It is really well built. So if you're on, let's say, blue trails, flow trails, you can make it more capable if you're wanting to, but it is going to be more directed to people who are more so just wanting to get out, getting into the woods, have some fun there, going long pedals. And it being a shorter travel bike, it is going to be very snappy in, like I said, flow trails where you have lots of corners, berms. You're going to be able to have a ton of fun with that. If you're someone who is riding bigger, gnarly terrain, steep stuff, this isn't the intentions of the bike. But like I said, if you're just wanting to get out there, have some fun in the woods, get out riding in the mountains with your buddies, you're going to have a blast with this bike. It was fantastic. I did put it through the paces in the video and everything held up super well. Porsche actually did come out with a very sensible spec on this bike, and the cool thing with it is that you can tell actually they paired up with a whole lot of other German manufacturers, which is really cool, sourcing things locally. So one, ROTWILD, as far as brakes go, it has Magura brakes. Really good quality actually. These are the trail brakes, meaning that they have 4 pistons up front, 2 in the rear. If you're familiar with mountain bikes, Magura are really well known for how well you can modulate the brakes while at the same time having really good power still. But they teamed up with Continental, another German manufacturer, for the tire spec that comes with the e-bike. And then besides that, a couple of other noteworthy additions. So Shimano drivetrain, that gets paired with the EP8 motor that we've already talked about. Great thing about this drivetrain is that it's the XT drivetrain, meaning that you can shift under power without having to worry about wrecking your derailleur. Of course, this being an e-bike and with so much torque going through your chain, drivetrain in general, it is good to let off the pressure a little bit before you're shifting a lot. If you are shifting a little kind of ham-fistedly and wildly, the good thing is that this XT derailleur is fantastic for that because it's built to shift under load. Continuing on from there, Fox suspension components. These are the performance level suspension. Really good for really everyone. You get great performance. You have a 34 up front. That's just talking about how thick the stanchions are. So this is more, once again, like trail-oriented suspension. I was already talking about the intention of the bike, how it's more of a trail bike than anything. And then in the back, you have the DPS for the shock. Once again, this is going to kind of be Fox's go-to trail shock. Nice suspension choice on the bike, pairs really nicely with the intentions. You can ride it on fast, snappy trails, the flow stuff I mentioned. It is going to be able to handle some burlier hits still if that is what you're kind of wanting to go and ride. As far as wheels go, you have Crank Brothers Synthesis wheels, the aluminum versions. Great wheel set as well, and that leads me to the dropper post. Those of you who aren't familiar with what a dropper post is, essentially you can press a button on your handlebars for your controls. For the downhill, you can drop your seat, click the button to raise it back up for the uphill when you're seated and climbing. Fantastic. This one's got 150 mils of drop, so you can get it way down, out of the way for the descent. And then kind of finishing off on the spec choice of the bike, ergon touch points, so saddle and your grip, very popular ones as well. So like I said, Porsche actually came out with a very, very sensible spec on this bike. And very sturdy too. There's really not a lot of flex in the frame, which if you like that kind of poppy, firm ride, huge plus for this, which is fantastic. As far as climbing goes, this climbs fantastically. I mean, for one, we've talked about the motor already. You go and have that 85 Newton meters of torque. It gets you up the hill very quickly. So if you have the legs and lungs for it, I mean, you can pin a climb trail or the shuttle road at a full 30 kilometers all the way to the top. So you are doing some techier climbing. You're probably not going to want to just be in boost, which is the torquiest mode for the motor. You'd probably turn that down to trail, where it's a little bit easier to kind of modulate that power. So if you are crawling over some steeper rock, rooty sections, or having to watch where your pedals are, so they're not hitting rocks, this battery will last you yeah, 2,000-3,000 meters of elevation. So you can put in super big days with it. As far as an e-bike goes too, this is really lightweight for one. Just hefting it, I don't know the actual exact measurement, but my guess is that it's coming in around 53 pounds, which yeah, fantastic for a full power e-bike. Most of them end up being around 55 or a little bit over. I think that really concludes the video. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. But if you do have any questions, don't ever hesitate to reach out. We'll see you out on the trails. Have a great day.